So you want to invest, right? Wonderful. I'm picturing it now. You on the balcony of that your Kilimani apartment or Riverside, a glass of wine in your hand or Tusker, watching the sunset over the Nairobi skyline. A skyline you now partially own. The money from your dividend portfolio hums quietly into your bank account like a faithful servant. You are no longer a passenger in this matatu that we call an economy. You are the driver. You own the matatu. You are technically the Sacco. Hi, I'm Miss Muithathi. I make videos about money, wealth, personal finance, and building something solid when life keeps throwing bills at you. If this video or any of my videos give you any form of value, a strategy, or even one good idea, consider buying a coffee. It keeps this channel alive and the work going. Link below or scan the QR on your screen. Stay with me. Back to your dream. It is a beautiful dream. A sterile, financial secure fantasy. Let me grab a pen and pop it for you. Sorry, I'm not sorry. My dear, before you get to be the lion in the savannah, you must first be the wild beast. And the wild beast's job is not to roar like a lion. It's to not get eaten. Your investment journey doesn't start with a bang. It never does. It starts in a dark, damp cave of something that I like to call self-reckoning. We begin not with what you'll gain, but with what you are currently losing. Now, I'll give you several steps that you need to consider before investing in Kenya. Step 1, the autopsy of your financial corpse. Pull out your phone, not to check that betting slip. Put it away. I see you. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay? So pull out your phone and open your M-Pesa statement or your bank app. Look at the numbers. Now, perform the autopsy. Calculate your net worth. Add every shilling you own. That dusty MMF account that you opened and forgot. The equity in your uncle's matatu that he promised you something like 5% of. The 2,000 bob in your sock drawer. Calculate all of that. Now, subtract every shilling you own. From the fuliza chewing your salary like a silent parasite to the digital loan apps that now knows your grandparents' names, and the hustler fund debt. You're busy trying to pretend it doesn't exist. You see that number? That cold, hard, often negative number? That is your financial corpse. Say hello to it. Sit with it. Mourn it. Because this corpse is the foundation upon which your entire empire will be built. You build castles on rock, my friend, not on swamp of unresolved debt. Another thing, the first investment is not in a stock. It's in the shovel that you use to bury your old financial self. I hope you've understood that part. Now, step 2, the safety net. Or, in simple English, how not to become a WhatsApp group anecdote. Now, you wouldn't go bungee jumping with a rope that you bought from a guy in Gikomba shouting, "Guys, ni strong sana." You wouldn't do that, right? And if you would, I would want to record you because I think I know what would happen. Guys, see me, look at me. Back to serious business, yeah? My point is, you wouldn't do that. So, why would you jump into the market without a net? Explain that to me. Okay, don't. But why would you? Answer yourself, okay? Understand this. An emergency fund is not money. It is a rage against fate. It is you telling the universe or Mother Earth that I see your kidney infection, your busted clutch plate, your sudden redundancy, and I raise you 6 months of living expenses in a liquid account. Without it, don't ever call yourself an investor if you don't have an emergency fund, okay? You're simply a gambler. And the house being life in Kenya, always wins. Pende uzipende, like it or not. It will win with a rogue pothole that destroys your axle. It will win with school fee deadlines that arrives like a tax collector. Those shiny shares that you have somewhere thinking that you've invested will be sold in a panic at a loss to fix a roof. My dear, this is not investing. This is a fire sale of your future. So build the net. It can be in a money market fund, in a Sacco, even under the mattress, if you must, okay? Though I wouldn't advise under the mattress because the rats and the temptation will eat it. Either way, just find a way to build it until you can sleep through a power blackout, a water shortage, and a tweet from the finance minister without your heart trying to escape your chest. Your heart is supposed to be beating here. Now it's beating here. It's beating here. It helps you relax. Become cool. Chill. You become a chill person when you have a net. Okay? And if you want a system to track or help you automate and manage your emergency fund, of course, and your first investment, check out my toolkit, linked below. It's how I keep my finances organized, predictable, and at the same time growing, so that I never panic when life throws a curveball. That was step 2. Now, part 2, the monsters in the market, which brings me to step 3, know your risk profile. This is the werewolf test. Everyone is a brave lion during a bull market. When the NSE is green and everyone is making money, you are Warren Buffett of Kilimani or Rwaka. Okay? But let me ask you, what happens when the moon is full and the market turns? Because things change. If your portfolio drops 30%, a very polite correction, what is your inner creature? Are you the werewolf? You panic, and then you're here making noise at us, for us. Is it at us, for us? Whatever, you're making noise, howling at the moon. You start selling everything in a bloody frenzy, locking in permanent losses. Or are you the vampire? You go dormant, you freeze, you ignore your statements for years, letting your investments turn to dust in a crypt of your own denial. Or are you the mortal? You feel the fear, you drink your tea, you remember you bought assets, not a ticket to a magic show, and you hold on. What are you? You must know your monster. Get to know it. So, feed it a steady diet of asset allocation that it can be able to stomach. Okay? Not saying that being the werewolf or being the vampire is bad. We can't all be mortals. Just know which one you are or which is your monster. Okay? Now, step 4, education. Spotting the ghosts. Understand this. The financial world is haunted. Haunted by ghosts. Okay? Not by anything else. And these ghosts have names. Okay? Names like guaranteed returns. I'm sure you've heard that. And something like can't miss opportunity. A one-time opportunity. They are all over the place, you know. They whisper even on YouTube ads, on flashy Instagram posts, on TikTok, and that your favorite uncle who knows a guy, I have that uncle. My warm regards. He's the only seance you need. Learn to read. Understand what a treasury bond actually is. The government saying, we need your cash, please, and we'll pay you back maybe. Know that a real estate investment trust, right, lets you own a piece of building without you having to chase a tenant for rent in Kiambu or Githurai or whatever. A money market fund is where your emergency fund goes to do gentle push-ups. Sasa? But please, if you don't understand it, the investment, then it's not an investment for you, okay? It's a donation, and you are the donor, the paying. Sasa? Step 5, the first sacrifice. This is starting small and boring. Your first investment should be so boring that it makes you yawn. It should be less exciting than watching grass grow. Because we are not here for excitement. We are here, investing for things like compound interest. The only magic spell that actually works in this world. Start with a money market fund. Fund it with maybe a 500 bob, 1,000 bob. If you can, set up a standing order. Watch it. Not for the thrill, but for the lesson. The lesson here is discipline. The lesson is that growth is a slow, silent crawl. This is your financial push-up. You don't start by bench pressing 100 kgs. You start with the empty bar. You master the motion. You avoid injury. Part 3, building the fortress, which brings us to step 6, diversification. For heaven's sake, don't marry the company. And when I say this, I mean, don't fall in love with a stock. Ati napenda hizi stocks. Oh, I love this company. I love these stocks. Don't do that. So if I hear you say, we wacha zako, we wacha hiyo maneno, okay? You do not give a bond a pet name. My dear, you're not loyal to an asset class. You are a ruthless, pragmatic general deploying troops. Sasa? Some troops, bonds, MMFs, hold the line. They are the defensive wall. Other troops, equities, or a small side hustle, go out to conquer new territory. If all your troops are in one place, for example, all of them being in land, or all being in one company stocks, all in your friend's brilliant avocado export scheme, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not a general. You are a fanatic. And fanatics get wiped out when the world changes. Utarambwa, urambike. Step 7, the review. Once a year, you must perform an exorcism on your portfolio. You sit down with your statements. You ask the hard questions. Is this asset performing? Or is it a zombie? Is this goal still relevant? Or am I just chasing a ghost of my past self? You rebalance. You sell the losers that have no hope. You take profits from the winners. You are a gardener. You prune. You weed. You do not let things like sentiment turn your portfolio into a haunted forest of dead ideas. And finally, step 8, the long game, building the cathedral. They built the great cathedrals over centuries. The initial architects never saw the finished spire. They laid a stone and then another. So you are not day trading. You're building a financial cathedral that will shelter your future self, your children, your peace of mind. So this is to say you will not see its full glory in a year or 5. You will simply lay stones through market crashes, through inflation, through political noise. You lay stones. The stone of consistent deposit, the stone of reinvested dividends, the stone of a debt that has been paid off. The market will scream headlines at you. It will try to frighten you into selling or greed you into buying foolishly. My advice to you is Ignore the noise. Focus on your blueprint. Your blueprint, your hands on your stones. So that's it. Few steps. Not to richness, not to Lamborghinis, but to solvency, to dignity, to the quiet power of not being afraid of an unexpected bill. The goal is not to be the king in the castle. The goal is to make sure that you're not the peasant begging at its gate. Now go, perform the autopsy, build the net, know your monster, and start laying your stones. The market waits, and it doesn't care about you. Make it care. If you want a step-by-step system that will help you track, plan, and automate these steps that I've mentioned, my toolkit is your shortcut. You can find it in the links below. It's how I personally stay in control so that no unexpected bill ever ruins my plans. I'm Miss Muithathi, and I'll see you in my next video.